Right. Governor, came to Waverly to tout your Invest in Iowa plan. How do you think it was received by those
I
who
feel
were here?
I'm leaving with very optimistic. I thought it was, first of all, a great turnout. The room was absolutely full. There was a lot of representation there. We talked a lot about the formula of the trust fund, so I think a lot of good conversation back and forth. And I had to find compromise on what was originally planned, and that was 10 years ago, and where we're at today. But it's still a lot of new money when you figure it's at $93 million of new money going into water quality, conservation, and recreation and outdoor activities. So it's movement in the right direction.
How about how it's being handled right now in the legislature? I know that I read that it's got quite a bit of resistance right now within your party.
Oh no, I don't think that's an accurate reflection. We're working with them. We are walking through the different components. It is, as you heard them say, it's a big bill. It's not complex. We can break it down in 3 different buckets. So it's funnel proof, so there was no reason for me to try to push it as they move through the first funnel. We've got a lot of time. This is exactly kind of the same timeline that we had in 2018 when we did historic tax reform and largest tax cut in the history of the state, and I signed that into law in 18. So we're on par with what we were doing and how we were working through that.
What do you think that maybe needs to be done to push maybe a few of members of your party, and maybe even some members of the Democrats?
We're talking about. I think this is another. A lot of the main big things that I've done with bipartisan support, and I am really proud of that. Whether it was Future Ready Iowa, mental health reform, children's mental health, all of that funding for Future Ready Iowa, we did with great bipartisan support. And I see this as another opportunity to do that again. So we're talking to both. And I've said this before. It's not going to be me that's going to convince the legislators to do this. It's going to be Iowans that were in that room that are supporting them. I had the whole conservation team from the Black Hawk County Conservation that was here to say that they support it. So it's going to be Iowans that are reaching out to the legislators that are going to get this passed.
All right, Adam. So, what do you think about what you and fellow Waverlyans and others heard today from the governor?
This is just a testament to the fact that Waverly is involved in what's going on at the state level and the local level. I think the governor's on track with trying to be as progressive. Whether you support the Invest in Iowa Act or not, that's not my issue with that, but just the fact that she wants to be engaged with our community.
And what do you think she took out of this from what she heard?
I think there's still a lot of voices to be heard on both sides of it. There's support, there's opposition to that, like we're going to have with everything. But doing something rather than nothing. It's been 10 years since that was, passed initially, and now it's time to fund it.
Talking about the 3/8 cents Iowa sales tax.
Yeah. So.
All right. One last question, but off subject.
Okay.
But something that's in the news: the COVID-19 novel coronavirus.
Yeah.
The state epidemiologist was meeting with legislators yesterday.
Yeah.
President Trump spoke to the nation yesterday about it. It is supposedly a little bit low risk right now, but how ready is the state if it gets to pandemic or epidemic levels in the U.S. or in Iowa?
Really low chances of that in Iowa right now, but we are prepared. I have held meetings. Iowa Department of Public Health is the lead agency on the coronavirus, and they have a lot of expertise in dealing with this and the Ebola virus. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
So we have done a lot of things to put us in a really good position. They also are probably twice daily talking to the administration, so there's been great coordination back and forth between the federal government and the state governments. And in addition to that, the Iowa Department of Public Health is working with Homeland Security and Emergency Management, and they are standing up an incident management team that will be the main point in dealing with this. So we're ready. We're working, through it, and we'll continue to be ready to meet that. I think the probability is low, but you have to be ready. You have to prepare for the worst.
So bottom line is,
we're ready.
You're ready. All right.
We're ready.
All right. Thanks, Governor, for coming to Waverly.
Thank you.